met on a dating app.
We did not meet on a dating app. Hey guys, today we are visiting Kailua Town on the island of Oahu, and this is a really beautiful town that we are visiting. It's a place that Reid and I don't come to often, but we wanted to see just the sights and what it has to offer. So please come with us and enjoy the day with us. If you are new to my channel, I'm Cari, and this channel is all about Hawaii food and family. So make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this. First things first, we're going to start with the Lanikai Pillbox hike. To remember about this hike is that it's located in a residential area, so you'll need to find parking along the street. Also, make sure to go early because although it's a short hike, it's not shaded and it'll get hot very quickly. And the last thing is that remember that there are no bathrooms or trash cans, and the closest ones are at Kailua Beach Park.
It's pretty much straight uphill.
Yep.
Side of a mountain. It's cool. We're almost there, like halfway, I think.
Yeah.
It's my food.
So this hike is a 1.8 mile hike, also known as the Kailua Ridge Trail. And I also read online that the bunkers at the top, they were built in 1943, and they're mainly used for observation purposes, unlike some of the other bunkers that were actually used for attack.
It's awesome. We're in between the two pillboxes. So both you can see are really crowded, and there are a couple of people flying their drones. My drone, however, is very tiny, so I don't know how it's going to withstand all the wind, but we'll try, maybe from a lower elevation. But it's good. Definitely come early because I think the sunrise here would be epic, coming over like the Mokes, but that's okay. We're here. It's pretty crowded, so best advice, come early to the trail because it's such an easy hike that I think a lot of people do it.
In the morning, and we are at the top of Lanikai. What are your thoughts?
I think it's a little too windy, but we'll see.
Okay, just got down from the hike. Overall, it's a good hike. It gets a little steep. I would say it's a steep hike. What would you say?
Yeah, I used the ropes on the way back down. Makes it easier. A lot of tourists.
Yes.
Just trying to go down the hard way.
But overall, great experience, fun. I've been on it before, but it's been a long time, and this is Reid's first time. So would you come again?
Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah.
You can do it with a family.
It's easy, but it's steep. So just know that. But overall, great hike. Okay, so we're sitting at Kailua Beach now. We just drove in and we got lucky. We got a really good parking space. So I'm just gonna have our breakfast, and I was just telling Reid in the car that it was actually really good that we ordered online and we called in our order because it came really fast and there were so many people waiting there for their food. So I don't know, this might be the way to do it at really popular breakfast places. For breakfast today, we decided to go to Overeasy. It's a breakfast spot in Kailua. And one of the reasons why I decided to try it was because I read online that some of Alan Wong's former chefs started this business, and you know, everybody knows that he was a great chef, and He just has a lot of accolades here in Hawaii as a chef and a restaurateur. So I thought this would be a great place for us to try. And I also learned that, so they started this business in 2016, and it started with a Kickstarter campaign, which I think is really, really awesome for someone that wanted to really go for their dream and to build this restaurant business. And now it seems like they're thriving. There's so many people there when we went to pick up our food, and it just seems like a really popular spot. Do you want to share what you got?
Well, I just got the Overeasy breakfast, which is scrambled eggs. I chose Kailua pork as my meat. It came with some toast on the side and some rice.
And I got the brunch bowl. It looks really interesting. It comes with with yogurt and with spinach.
Carrie's a little disappointed with her brunch bowl.
Well, it's just the appearance of it. I'm sure when you're there, it probably it looks a lot better. One thing I thought we could talk about while we're here, hopefully the wind isn't too bad and you can hear us, but the thing I wanted to talk about was how we met. Somebody asked us that question. And so I thought we could share while we eat how we met.
Okay, so how we met. You can hear
two sides of the
Carrie's
story.
version or the truth. So it depends on which one you want. I'll let Carrie tell her version.
So I was out one night with my cousin, and we were going to happy hour, and it went, it was good. We were catching up, and it just kind of went a little long. So she invited me to go with her after to hang out with some of her friends who I've never met before, and so I said sure. So at first we went up to her friend's apartment, and when I went there, I saw Reid, and he was getting a beer out of the fridge, and he turned to me and he's like, "I know you, and I know your family." And I just thought that was the weirdest thing ever. And it was a little creepy, but it's okay. And so it started there, but that night I guess we really hit it off, and we just ended up kind of spending a lot of time together in that one night. But the weird thing is, it just felt so normal, I guess, to hang out with him and to get to know him a little bit more. But yeah, that's how we met from my story.
Like I said, do you want to hear the story or do you want to hear the truth? Truth is, yes, she was out at happy hour with her cousin, who happens to be a friend of mine. Mm-hmm. And I myself was persuaded by other friends to stick around that night and go out. Not for any other reason than there was no work the next day. So we ended up crossing paths, yes, in my friend's apartment. I may have said that as a surprise thing, but I wasn't at that point hitting on her. Just if you know me, that's just how I am. I'm very forward. So was able to strike up a conversation, and as the night wore on, we did spend more and more time together, and it was fun. I believe that night all of us stayed out till 3 or 4 in the morning, and thank God there was no work the next day. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I had to burp. But we left that night. We didn't exchange phone numbers. Mm-hmm. And it's because Cari had just come out of another relationship, and she can talk more about that later. Mm-hmm. But I ended up stalking her on Facebook and messaging her a few days later, and
2 days later,
getting her phone number that way, and we've been together ever since. And the irony in all this is the reason why I think it felt comfortable is actually our families. They raised us quite near each other. So where we grew up, our families live about a block or 2 blocks away distance, from each other. So less than a 5-minute walk from each other's houses. And actually, my sister, one of my sisters, took piano lessons from her mom, who's a piano teacher in the neighborhood. So our paths had crossed many, many times, just without knowing it. But of course, because of the 5-year age difference, would have been awkward if I was in high school and I was trying to pick her up in middle school. But so we just didn't really know each other.
Yeah, but he's been to my house actually when he was younger for piano recitals, and mm-hmm. we didn't even know, who each other was
because
back then.
Actually, I'm closer in age to her middle sister, so she and I went to school together for most of our years growing up.
That's right.
So didn't know there was a younger sister, but glad I found out.
But it's funny because every time now we're at my parents' house, then it's funny to think that for Reid, when he came there for piano recitals, which he dreaded, now he's coming back and And my mom still teaches piano, so it's like the same thing. It's like life went full circle.
Yep. Can't escape the piano recitals.
So I hope you enjoyed our how we met story. And yeah, that's basically a little bit about our history.
So now we're in Kailua Town and we're about to go and visit Manoa Chocolate. And Cari and I had done a previous video out in the North Shore where we went to Wailua and we learned a lot about cacao beans and the cacao plant from Kahuku Farms. And they actually sell their cacao to Manoa Chocolate. So we're actually going to go there now and see if we can do a tasting and learn a little bit about how the chocolate's made. But we learned that this place started in 2010. Some students at UH were researching the cacao plant and decided to start their own chocolate company. So it sounds like a cool story. Let's go learn about it.
It was started by a young man named Dylan. He was born and raised right here in Kailua. And it was kind of just like, he says it's by chance, I don't know how true that is, but he met this other guy out surfing. That guy is Dan O'Doherty. He's like a legend in the industry now. But they met out surfing and Dan shared with Dylan how we were this only US state growing cacao, but we were sending it back to the mainland to be manufactured. So Dylan as a young man was kind of looking for business opportunities and stuff. So it aligned really well, and he also was really passionate about agriculture and kind of keeping that industry right here in Hawaii. So it worked out. That's kind of where the inspiration came from and just snowballed ever since.
Great story.
So I have for you guys here our chocolate tea. So this is the outer shell of the cocoa bean after it's been roasted, just steeped in some hot water. So it has the aroma of hot chocolate, but it tastes like a herbal tea. So it works really well as a palate cleanser when we try our chocolate bars. That's why we handed out with the tasting. But I have 5 chocolate bars out for you guys to try today. So the first 3 are part of our single origin Hawaiian collection. All 3 of these are the same recipe, 70% cacao, 30% cane sugar. The only difference is where exactly on the island they were grown. No problem. This one's grown in Kona on the Big Island. It's really, really rich, really smooth. It has a lot of really complex flavors in there. I personally get coffee, toffee, bourbon, little raspberry maybe.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's very nice. Like hints of chocolate and tea. What do you guys sell out of?
So this is our only retail store with our store like name on it. We wholesale out to a bunch of grocery stores in the area. I don't know off the top of my head. I know Whole Foods and Down to Earth right over here have us. The military stores, and then our website actually has a list of stores where we wholesale out to in all 50 US states. And can you believe it? Everything is done here. So this is our full functional factory, our only factory. The manufacturer in this process, we're not the farmers. So our job is to also source from really high quality farms. So Dylan, our owner, actually goes around on his own and meets with these farmers, looks at what they're doing on the farm to make sure everything's like going well, and then he decides directly there if he wants to trade with them. So we do direct trade is what it's called, not fair trade. So there's no middleman.
Okay, so we just finished going to Manoa Chocolate. We bought 6 different bars of chocolate. We're excited to try that. We're also going to give some to some friends that are here from the mainland. And we also bought the chocolate tea because that just tasted delicious with the chocolate. It was a really good pairing. And yeah, and it's caffeine free, so we can drink it at night. But excited for that. And off to our next adventure.
We're going to a place called 22 Kailua. And Cari wants to go check it out because they serve coffee and Japanese food.
Okay, so what was the experience like for you in 22 Kailua?
It was interesting. It was a boutique with vintage clothes that served curry for lunch, but also had a coffee cafe which consisted of the Japanese employee grinding coffee in the back and making it herself. And I got the Kona Peabody. This is $6.50.
and
Probably could have gone somewhere else and gotten cheaper coffee, but
try it. Maybe it's the best coffee of your life.
it's not bad. But it's definitely a hole in the wall. They also have a Japanese restaurant in the back.
It's an omakase.
Only open for dinner. You have to make reservations through Instagram DM. So it's interesting.
I wouldn't mind trying that though. I think that would be really cool. There's only room for 6 people at a time though, so we definitely would have to make reservations in advance.
But the Japanese employee said it was really good.
Yeah, so we'll try it sometime. Interesting experience though.
22 Kailua.
Okay, so now we're going to Bookends. It's one of the only bookstores I think left on Oahu. So just excited. We've never been here before, so excited to go to a bookstore again. Definitely has like a very old traditional feel to it, which is kind of nice. It's very cozy. You can sit and read a book. It's crazy to think how much knowledge is in here. I mean, that's any bookstore, but it just feels so like intimate that like there's so much facts and information that we are immersed in right now. Since our experience at Kailua 22 wasn't what we expected, we stopped by Morning Brew Cafe, which was right next to the bookstore.
We're going to a place called Graysons and Growlers. We're gonna go check it out. They're like craft beer and some good food, we heard. They also have a tasting room. Let's check it out.
Face mask on anytime you're away from your table. Fresh clean glass each and every pour. When you're done with the glass, you can either put it right on the table or put it in the black bin right there. What you pour is what you pay for. Just be aware the price does vary between the beers. Logo to logo. When you're green, you're good to go. Hook it on the grooves here. Pull it towards you to pour. Push it back to end your pour. We change the taps out regularly, so once one kicks, we have a brand new one.
Nice.
Spot.
Okay.
We have kombucha, craft tea, and nitro coffee.
Brewing Company IPA. This is the one she recommended, which is the Aslan Brewing Company Pale Ale, and then the Beer Lab Mililani Red IPA. Had that one before, it's good. So we just learned that Tim and Holly, the couple that own this place, started this about 5 years ago with the idea that it's founded as a nonprofit and still exists as a nonprofit. And they give back to the community. So they help the homeless population here. They also help children overseas. And what's not going to paying the bills and the employees here gets donated. So I even feel better about coming here and drinking a few beers because your money is going to really good causes. You know, our server was just saying that. You know, they've started as an experiment and it's been just thriving in this area. So I really do recommend this. If you guys can come down to Graysons and Growlers and come and have a beer, have a pizza, maybe even have a bagel. There are a couple days a week that they serve fresh bagels, Montreal style bagels. Come down and support a great cause.
I'm trying the kombucha. It's very good. It's ginger. This one is ginger, pineapple, and turmeric. It's very good. I taste all the flavors, and I like all the flavors, so it's delicious.
I know it's a pale ale, it's good. Some people say that pale ale tastes like soapy water. That's how I distinguish it as like that type of beer. Tastes a little bit like your glass was not rinsed out properly, but it's good. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's bad. It's good. Best soapy water I ever drank. This is the one she recommended. This is the Aslan Company. Oh, that's smooth. I can see why she liked it. No bite. Very smooth beer. And this is the Mililani Red. Just like Mililani has red dirt, the beer is dark red. Very smooth, very good. We ordered the four-way, which are 4 different types of cheeses. I think it was mozzarella, ricotta, goat cheese, and parmesan. It's got a little marigold flower on it. Let's try it. That's really good. That's cheesy. Wow.
And we just talked to the owner of Farmhouse Pizza, and she told us that a lot of the ingredients they actually grow out of their backyard right now, and it's a business that her and her boyfriend started. So that's really, really cool. We're supporting local when we try their pizza. So that's really awesome. I'm excited to try it.
Yeah, shout out to Kanoi. Farmhouse Pizza is excellent.
It's a homemade ranch dressing too.
Oh, so good.
Ranch is good.
So good. You gotta dip it in the ranch. So good.
So we just left Graysons and Growlers, and we had a really good experience there, and just loved learning about their story and what they believe in, and just excited to go back again sometime.
So good. We took 3 pizzas home. We're gonna share with the family. So yeah, definitely want to go back. And they said as they open up, there are going to be more events at the location. So definitely check them out. They are a really good business with a good business model and help out this community.
Yeah, I think we had a really fun day in Kailua, and for us, we just learned a lot. We haven't really ever spent this much time, and just really got to experience some of the different businesses. And something that I mentioned to Reid earlier was that it's cool that everything is within like a 5 to 10 minute walk or drive. We did a hike this morning. We went to we tried some chocolate. We went to a coffee place. We went to a brewery. We went to a bookstore.
And then we could have gone to the beach, but we ran out of time. So there's so much to do. If you're visiting Hawaii, definitely come to Kailua. You could spend a whole day here and explore, and there's so many things that will allow you to see what Hawaii is all about, just the community and the love. And yeah, it's awesome.
Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace out.